Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together. You can say it now, right? To peace out. We are all working on it. I hope we're all getting it. I hope we're all getting a little bit better at it, a little bit faster at it, a little bit, I hope we've got it down, right? Shouldn't we have it down by now? Yeah, we should. But you know what? You know why we don't have it down yet? Because new things start happening, keep happening, right? Just about the time. So we're coasting along. Something's going to happen between 8 a.m. and 8:05 a.m., right? And so we have all these things that come at us all day long. The good thing is God never abandons us to those life's details, right? They're all opportunities to peace out. Last week we spent all week in James, and I don't know if we're going to spend all week in a particular chapter or book this week, but I do know where we're going to spend this morning. I was looking through, I looked at a lot of different scriptures this morning. I did start on my 13th book, my fourth devotional, fourth devotional, I think. I'd have to count it back up. But anyway, so I was looking at some different scriptures, and in light of that, I'm just doing some general reading and getting ready to do the caregiver's daily blog and things like that. And I found this scripture. Now, I know I've read the scripture before, but it's in perhaps the shortest book. I don't know. I think Jude is probably the shortest. First John maybe a little bit shorter, or second and third John maybe just a little bit shorter. So it's the third shortest book in the whole Bible, right? And it's like, so I read this, listen to this. Now this is the New Living, the old New Living translation, but it's in Jude. Who can find anything in Jude, right? Even Jude had something for us this morning. And it says this. He says, this letter is from Jude, a slave of Jesus Christ and a brother of James. I'm writing to all who are called to live in the love of God the Father, and the care of Jesus Christ. Now, that's just the first part of the verse. That's the first part. Or actually, that's the second part of verse 1. Writing to those who are, listen to this, called to live in the love of God. Now, that phrase grabbed my attention this morning. We're called to live in God's love, which doesn't ever wane. It doesn't ever weaken. It doesn't ever get less. He doesn't stop loving us, even when we do dumb stuff. Look at Jonah. Jonah's a good example, because Jonah did what Jonah did on purpose, and God met him in the belly of the well that he prepared for the rebellious prophet. He will meet us even when we mess up. He's going to meet us where we are. I love that thing. We look at Romans 8 where it says, nothing, absolutely nothing in the heavens, nothing under the heavens, nothing under the earth, nothing in our lives, nothing, absolutely nothing can separate us from God's love. He will not say, forget it, I'm not going to love you today. You remember when we were kids and someone would say, I'm not your friend anymore. Well, once I got a little bit older, I'm like, well, then you never were. It was no problem, right? God never says, I'm not going to love you today. No, that was it. That was the last straw. Nope, that's it. He can't help himself be quiet, because God is love. He can't stop being love, and he can't stop loving us. He does not have an off button or turn it down button for his love. He can't help himself. He loves us. We're called to live in the love of God. I love that phrase. But then there's the next one, right? And we're called to live in the care of Christ. Christ cares for us. As a matter of fact, that's one of our peace out scriptures, right? Casting all your care on him, for he cares for us. Now that can have a dual meaning. One, that he cares for us and he loves us. He wants to take care of us. He cares for us. And the second meaning can mean that he can do the caring for us. He can do the quote, quote, worry part for us. Either way you look at it, we can live in his care. I love those two phrases, live in the love of the Father and the care of Jesus Christ. But that's not the part I want to talk about. I could talk about it all day, I think, right? Next part says this, may you receive, and that's a key word right there, receive, there's a verb, more and more of God's mercy, peace, and love. May you receive more and more of God's mercy, peace, and love. See, God's mercy doesn't grow. It doesn't he can't have more mercy. He can't have more peace. He can't have more love. He has more than enough mercy, peace, and love. But the key word here is receive. So while we're living in the care of Jesus and we're living in the love of God, we can receive, keyword, receive more mercy, receive more peace, receive more love. Is that what this devotion is really all about? It's about figuring out what God's given us already and figuring out how to let that peace reign. We don't get more peace. We also don't get less peace. His peace is. His love is. His mercy is. His grace is. He's not going to make more of it. He doesn't need to, because these are characteristics of a God that is eternal and full of all these things. He doesn't have the capacity to get more, but as we study this word and we get closer to God, we are capable of receiving more of his mercy, understanding more about his mercy, receiving more of his grace, understanding more about his grace. He told Paul, my grace is enough, period. For whatever you're going through, for whatever you just came through, whatever you're going to go through, whatever you're in right this minute, whatever you're not in right this minute, his grace is enough, period. His mercies are new every morning, period. But our capacity to receive these things from God is what changes. It's not that his peace got any better during the pandemic when we started these devotions. His peace didn't change when we hit the pandemic, and the pandemic came, and I said, hey, God's peace didn't change. We're going to peace out. I don't care what's going on in this world. We're going to peace out, because God's peace didn't change. Nothing he promised us changed because we went into a pandemic. Nothing about God changes because of our situations, but our capacity to receive what God has already done, what God has already given us, changes as we trust him more. And that's a key term right there. The more we trust him, the more our capacity to receive grows. We learn more about his love when we can learn how to live in his love. We learn more about how he cares for our soul, and we learn how to live in the care of Jesus Christ, like here in Jude. Then our capacity to receive the mercies that were new for you today. Think about that a second. His mercies were new this morning for you. God does not have a morning, because there's no night in him. There's no darkness in him. There isn't any night in heaven. So the morning was made for us, and his mercies are new in our morning. They're brand new. They're constant. Our capacity to receive those mercies is where we have to focus our efforts. We do that by loving God more, by studying this word more, by getting closer to him, by prayer, by fellowshipping with other believers. That's how our capacity to receive his mercy, his grace, his peace, and his love increases. So I pray that today your capacity to receive God's mercy just expands until you go, whoa, he's given me mercy for this too. How cool is that? I didn't know I was going to have mercy for this too. Because God cares about every detail of our lives. I now pray that today, as you go through your day, your capacity to experience his peace grows. I pray that the capacity to experience the great, deep, everlasting, immeasurable love of God, that you can live in that love today. And as we live in that love, as we learn to live in his love, our capacity to receive his mercy, his grace, and his peace will automatically increase as we learn to live in his love, as we are called to do, according to our buddy Jude this morning. Have a great day, you guys. Peace out. If I said something that made sense, I'll see you again tomorrow.